Hello, I'm Cleopatra Wallace. Today is September the 26th, a Tuesday. And we're going to snoop around in Senator Menendez's business. Him and his wife Nadine have been indicted. They have been charged. Them and 3 of their business partners. A bribery scam, arms dealing. It gets really, really sordid. So let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to look at a quick news stories, 2 minutes and 25 seconds. I'm going to read the copyright disclaimer first. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act in 1976, allowance is made for the fair use for the purpose such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and or research. Fair use is a use that is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. You had to add that in, Fatty? Okay, thank you. Fatty says hello.
That's just days after he was indicted for a wide-ranging corruption scheme. The powerful Democrat is accused of taking hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and luxury gifts to help New Jersey businessmen and the government of Egypt. CBS and Nicole Killian spoke with his constituents as calls for his resignation are growing today.
Tonight, New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez says he's bracing for his biggest fight yet and showed no signs of backing down.
I firmly believe that when all the facts are presented, not only will I be exonerated, but I still will be the New Jersey's senior senator.
Flanked by a handful of supporters, the Democratic lawmaker took no questions as he responded publicly to a 3-count indictment filed last week against the senator, his wife, and 3 New Jersey business associates. The senator is accused of using his political influence on the powerful Foreign Relations Committee to take thousands of dollars in bribes, including mortgage payments to his wife, a luxury car, 13 bars of gold, and around $500,000 in cash, with some of the money stuffed in congressional jackets bearing his name.
For 30 years, I have withdrawn thousands of dollars in cash from my personal savings account, which I have kept for emergencies and because of the history of my family facing confiscation in Cuba.
Menendez claimed over the weekend that his critics were rushing to judge a Latino, something disputed by fellow Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
He tried to make this shit about him being a Cuban, like we're picking on him because he's doing things that's normal in his Cuban heritage. Did he just try to throw Cubans under the bus?
As a Latina, there are absolutely ways in which there is systemic bias, but I think what is here in this indictment is quite clear.
New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has called for Menendez's immediate resignation, and close to half of New Jersey's congressional delegation believes he should step down.
They want his ass out of there.
Congressman Andy Kim, who announced he will primary the 3-term senator next year.
I am very concerned that if Senator Menendez continues on, that he could put this seat in jeopardy.
At least 2 Senate Democrats say Menendez should leave office. The White House stopped short of calling for his resignation. And here in New Jersey, fellow Senator Cory Booker...
You know Biden don't have the nuts to do anything.
Nicole Killian, thank you.
All right.
Most people have...
Now we're going to pull Spirit in. All right, and we are back. Spirit guides, holy angels, and ancestors, gather around because this morning we're going to New Jersey. We want to be there from the year 2020 to present. We want to be in a neighborhood called the Englewood Cliffs. It's in Bergen County, New Jersey. Yep. Englewood Cliffs in Bergen County. Now, they did live in Harrisontown, but they moved from there in 2020. So even though they conducted that last search in the other house, we're going to go to where they live now. Alright, I'm looking at my notes here. Yeah, we're going to go to where they live now, where they have been living for the last 3 years. Because we're only going to ask about the last 3 years. Alright. and sip the coffee and just move it. It's always too much going on up here. I put the coffee way back there because once upon a time I dropped a cup of coffee on my desk. Whew, that was one of the worst days of my life. Everything was sticky. Alright, now back to it. It is 9:03 in the morning, Eastern time. So, my brain is still waking up, which is good, because it's very easy to talk to spirit when you're drowsy. Alright, so, I have been looking through my decks to make sure the ones that I'm using for that day don't have nudity in them. And these 3 decks do not have nudity. This is the Omega Land deck, the Dark Mansion, which I used yesterday, and the Spider deck, the oldest deck that I have. So we're going to use these 3 decks mainly. Alright, we're going to start out with the Omega Land deck. I like to start with 4 or more. If the cards fall to the ground, I only read the ones that fall face down. If too many come out, I will take the top and the bottom. If the cards come out reverse, I'm going to just turn them around. Alright, so Spirit, we are wanting to know about the affairs of... Oh, I have one already. We're wanting to know about the affairs of Senator Menendez. Let's see, what is his name? His first name. Bob. We want to know about Bob Menendez and his wife that he married in 2020, around the same time this got started, Nadine Menendez. They lived together in a house. They tried to offer. They lived together in a house in Inglewood's Cliff. They're in the zip code of 07632. Oh, turned over. Alright. We only need one more. We're in the zip code of 07632. Snooping around in Bob and Nadine Menendez's personal business, they were said to have been found with $480,000 in cash, $100,000 in gold bars, and there was some bribery, something about an automobile that may have cost $60,000. Alright, so now we have all 4 cards. There we have it. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Oh Lord, I hope they don't get started with the cars and all of that. Why? I left that window open over there. I'm going to just close it now. Alright, we're back. Sorry, unnecessary noise drives me crazy. Alright, so we have all 4 cards. Let's see what came out. We have the 2 of Cups, which is appropriate because we're talking about a husband and wife. And they do take quite a bit of trips, like she's even holding a map. Because, you know, they were said to have been going back and forth from Egypt. Alright, we have the High Priestess. A very distinguished, very intelligent woman. Yes, yes. Because, you know, the wife was very active in this crime. She was charged as well. Alright. Then we have the Page of Coins, which is all about messages. So we got messages about money, which also pans out because they've been reading their text messages back to them. And you know you in trouble when people start reading your own messages back to you. The last card we have is the 9 of Wands, which is the senator all by himself. and he is very much worried. Alright, so let's clarify each one of these cards. So first here we are going to begin with the Two of Cups. Now this could very well be them in the beginning. He proposed to Nadine at the Taj Mahal. You know that great big monument to love over there? Well, that's the story they give to us. That I think the guy, he was a king named Shah Jahan, which means king of the world. And there was a text message where Nadine was lamenting about Bob, and she said that he thought he was the king of the world. Coffee. It's just too far away. I'm going to put it on the notes. So if it spills, the notes can be a martyr and save the rest of the cards from getting wet. Okay. So let's clarify this. I'm wanting to know, is this what Nadine had in mind when she married Bob, when they first got together and met and went on that trip and got engaged? Were they talking about scamming the American government in the beginning of their wedding when they first got married? Because you're showing me them now. The couple that lives in Inglewood's Cliff in the 07632 zip code. We're wanting to know, from 2020 date up until now, have the couple always discussed matters of bribery and yeah, all right. I'm doing good this morning. I'm gonna keep catching y'all. Were they always discussing bribery? Is that the root of this marriage? The main thing they do to bond is... Oh. The Seven of Pentacles came out. And as you can see, the gardener is growing his pinnacles. He has this little tool over here in his hand. That. So the Seven of Pentacles is about growing money and some kind of investment. There's even cherries up there. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Alright, you see those cherries? According to Nadine and Bob, I guess they were already affluent. Well, he was already an affluent person. And this is his second wife. Just being able to bribe people and being in a position of authority was just a cherry on top of their wedding. The little cherry on top of their life was all of that extra money. I've never noticed those cherries before. But these are fairly new cards. Alright, the next card is just Nadine. But I want to still ask more questions about these two and their engagement trip. We're going to use the spider deck. Make sure they're all in the right position. These cards here. Alright. Alright, Spirit, as you know, we're asking about Nadine and Bob Menendez. Maybe it's some of my notes. One of the scams that they were in on was where the good gossip comes out. Which is kind of a good thing if we're asking about their early marriage, their early life together. It may have started out, you know, with the scammy energy, but at first it would appear that people were happy for them. Now, I don't know if Nadine is Cuban, but their friends and family were happy when they first started out. They were happy, of course, because they were Of course, it's 3 years ago, so the scams aren't super present, but they are there. She's very active, I'm telling you. They was reading her messages back to her. Alright, and because of that, she's up next, and we're going to read her. Oh, snap. Nadine was smart. Well, you know, not saying that you got to be smart to bribe people, but you see this gas mask down here? She has prepared for this. She prepared for this. She knew this day was coming. And you know they had all that money in the house. It's some money somewhere else outside of the house as well. By it being $480,000, that's $500,000. Half of the million was probably inside, and the other half was outside. And Nadine knows where it is. Great googly moogly. Let's just read her right now. And to do that, we're going to get into the Edgar Allan Poe deck. I already know I'm going to have to straighten this basket out later on. Okay. Spirit, you show me just Nadine now, all on her own, separate from Bob. This is Nadine when Bob is away, when she's just by herself, getting her nails done or something. What is Nadine's energy like when she's all by herself? And this is Nadine that lives in Inglewood Cliff. Ooh. So when Nadine is alone, she's thinking about money. Page of Pentacles. And as you can see, this card kind of looks like the Temperance card, because on the Temperance card, she's usually mixing stuff with both hands. But this is not the Temperance card. This is the Page of Pentacles. Someone who's being very methodical. Okay? The Page of Pentacles is not just out here sending what you do in text messages. Okay? They're turning over every stone, reaching out to contacts. See how people can be used to do different things. Networking, connecting dots. Alright. What else can we learn about Nadine? Let's go back over here. The Dark Mansion. Alright, now he does have 2 grown kids, but those from his first marriage. So we're not going to discuss them. What else is over here? Oh yeah, he's 69 years old. And, get this, you know how people be always Googling wild stuff? I mean, I know I Google a bunch of wild stuff. But when they got back from Egypt, Bob Googled how much is 1 kilo of gold worth. And we now know that he had 13 of them. He was supposedly in some kind of arms dealing. Oh. These fell face up. But we're still talking with Bob. We was probably talking about Nadine, but Bob is over here again. Because he's all over this. The judgment. Because, he got in trouble. This is his 3rd time doing this. He got in trouble in 2017. He got in trouble in 2018. And now here he is in trouble again. The judgment is people coming back. It is my suggestion. It's probably the same prosecutor or the same person that's been trying to get him. It's there again. It's right back to the same thing. And the 7 of Wands are him having to defend himself. defend his seat in the Senate, and just saying that you think it's because you're Cuban and they're picking on you, that's him trying to fall on his sword. Nope, not gonna work, buddy. You're gonna have to come up with a better defense than that. And look at the people. Them sticks that is pointing out toward him, those are his other colleagues, the other senators, saying, we don't want you here no more. You need to go. So yeah, you're going to be doing a lot of defending. And the Ace of Swords is because it's another new charge. Here we go again. Here we go again, Bob. This is Nadine's first go round with this. I guess you had got real bold. He got bold. A little too bold. And now they want him out of there. And they are not going to stop. The prosecutors are not going to stop this time. Not this time. Alright, let's go to the next card. The next card is the Page of Coins. Now this is not Bob or Nadine. This is one of his conspirators. One of the other three people that they have not fully named. But one of them was a Hala's meat market. You know, like those meat markets that only sell kosher meat. A Hala meat market, a arms dealer. And I don't know who the other person was. But wow, look how big that money is. That's a coin or a piece of money. It's so big that it's almost bigger than his foot. And when was the last time you seen a coin bigger than someone's foot? And it is a coin. See the notches? Because I was thinking, is it a stick or a stick? What the hell? Is it a stick? Is it a rock or something? But no, it has like those little notches on it that quarters have. So this was somebody calling him about big money, big bribes. Not know what he said, he was taking out thousands of dollars a week. He ain't taking out no damn thousands of dollars a week to add up to 48,000. And like I said, that's just half of it. The other half is outside the house somewhere. Yeah, so let's see. Let's ask questions about these people, like if they knew that this day was coming. Alright, and to do that, we're going to use the teddy bear tarot. I used this one yesterday quite a bit. Alright. Spirit, as you know, we're asking about Nadine and Bob Menendez. They live in Bergen County in a neighborhood known as Inglewood Cliffs. We're in the zip code of 07632. We are inside the marital home. Messages are coming through. The Menendezes are pillow talking as... Oh, that's too many. The Menendezes are pillow talking like most couples do. They have another... they have another opportunity to make money. And look what came out, the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is very decisive. Okay, so when messages are coming through about this, Nadine is also deciding whether or not they should take these offers, whether or not they should do the whatever it is they're trying to do. What else happens when these messages come through? It turns two of them. Alright, and this is all within the marital home. They're discussing these messages. Alright, I'm trying to put these things back in here without mixing them up too bad. Alright. Okay, so first of all, when the messages come through, Nadine is sitting right there on her throne discussing these matters with her husband. Alright. And just what you would expect, the darn devil which is all about bribery, drugs, gambling, illicit things. Illicit. Not only that, but one of these bears that is being held has their eyes closed. And the bear with their eyes closed has the energy of Bob. You know what he's doing there? He's saying a silent prayer to himself that he hopes everything goes well. It didn't. It didn't go well. How could it? The person you're standing next to is bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to go in this thing, guns a-blazing. You want to know why? Because this is only her first time getting indicted, Bob. This is your third. You're gonna need it. You should have been doing more than praying in your brain and your mind. You damn it. Y'all had enough money at some point. You didn't have to keep going. For some reason it bothers me that he would pray for something like this to work out. Like, which God did he pray to, I wonder? Maybe that's also in his Cuban heritage. What the hell? Alright. And the other card is the Strength. Which means very strong, but also very wild, because it always has a very big cat and like a lady with the cat, but these two are sleeping. Like sleeping right there with the enemy. Like, even though they're friends, in real life, bears and tigers and stuff don't sleep together. This is some next level sleeping with the enemy type of stuff. But which one was the enemy? I think they both were. Let's just ask questions. Since we are here with the messages about the money and all of that, let's ask questions. We're going to use the Beauty or Horror deck. Spirit, as you know, we are digging into Nadine and Bob's affairs. They have been charged. 3 of their business partners have been charged. Gold bars and money was found. Bob's trying to blame it on his heritage. Nadine is just going in guns blazing because this is her first time. That's too many. Make sure these cards are turned around right. But this is only her first time. Alright. Keeping these. Alright, I'm keeping this Hangman. Because there is a lot of waiting. How many is this? This is 4. I'm going to take the top and the bottom. But there is a lot of waiting involved in this. These is like the prosecutors and the investigators. Really, he can just can't do much but wait for them to get done picking. You know, picking through his life, raking through every little banking detail. Alright, now what we have here We've seen this card here before, the Ace of Swords. It's back. It was over here earlier. They both have the crown up there because it's over. His reign of money is over. I'm not going to say reign of terror because he wasn't terrorizing people. But I don't know. He could have been because he was involved in the arms dealing. And speaking of arms dealing, that's the very last card. The Nine of Wands, which is about burdens. It's too much to go on. Like, even if you do have the firepower, you don't have all the people to use the guns in this card. But you know, he got in trouble for arms dealings. So let's ask questions about just that. I'm going to move all of these other cards out of the way up here. That's a lot of cards. Alright. They're over there. Okay, let me put this one right here. I want to know, is this his first go-round dealing in weapons? Because I don't think he's new to this. Alright, Spirit, you show me now Bob Menendez talking about selling weapons to the Egyptian government. Is this his first time dealing with arms sales? Or has he dealt with guns prior to this? Is this Bob's first time selling guns? Or setting up appointments to do so? And is that going to be the nail in his coffin? Why are you showing me him here now? Alright. And what came out is the Empress. And we're asking about him and his arms dealing. Oh my goodness. Again? Bob just really was all in. We are back to the cherry on the top. She's picking the cherries again. See? So again, dealing with these weapons, all of that was just the cherry on top. So this was his first time, but he felt like it was the, I guess you can say, his favorite bribe. Because we had the cherry on top card earlier in a different deck. Here it is. Back again with the cherries. See them up there? It's the same damn thing that she's picking. He considered the arms dealing a cherry on top. Bob, you are going down. Alright. It's me again, Cleopatra Wallace. If you found this video interesting, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because who knows what can happen next. Alright, before we go though, let's snoop around at some pictures of Bob. Where is it? Oh, this just happened 40 minutes ago. Oh, I should probably do the disclaimer again. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act in 1976, allowance is made for the fair use for the purpose such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and or research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Okay. So let's see. The new cause for the New Jersey Democratic resignation came hours after he made his first public remarks since he was charged with bribery. he indicated he wouldn't resign. Oh, really? Two Democrat senators called for Senator Bob Menendez to resign Monday, joining a growing chorus of lawmakers urging him to step down. Bob was like, no, take it from me. They are, Bob. They're going to take it from you. Let's see if I can watch this one without it being a giant commercial. Defiant Senator Bob Menendez speaks out after indictment. Will not resign. Okay.
Coals growing over the weekend for...
What? Really? I don't even want to watch it if I gotta watch a commercial. Alright. Let's go on to this one. Yeah, I'm not about to let him get away with this. New Jersey Senator. Great googly moogly. I just wanted to look at a few more details. Right, Senator Bob Menendez repeatedly suggests he is being targeted because he is Latino. That is a blatant lie. He is trying to fall on his sword. We're not buying it, Bob. Senator Bob Menendez has resisted calls for him to resign after he and his wife Nadine were indicted Friday on bribery charges, repeatedly suggesting he is being targeted because of his heritage. Menendez is accused of using his influence to protect and enrich 3 New Jersey associates and businessmen and of aiding Egypt's authority governments in exchange for bribes in the form of cash, gold bars, payments toward his home, mortgage, and more. Dang, Bob! Those behind this campaign simply cannot accept that a first-generation Latino American from humble beginnings could rise to be a U.S. Senator and serve with honor and distinction. Menendez, who is Cuban American, said in a statement shortly after his indictments were made public. The senator stepped down as chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, but was steadfast for his refusal to resign. Okay, so let's just pop over to this. So way back in 1793, okay, the French Revolution. Now you may ask yourself, why are we taking it all the way to the French Revolution? Because I think that if we were still having public executions for crimes against the state, such as treason, this wouldn't be happening. Look how big that thing drops from. This is the guillotine, okay, that they were using because they wanted to come up with a humane way to chop people's heads off and just be done with it. And in 1793, during the French Revolution, 25 people were guillotined, okay? They cut 25 people's heads off because the citizens of the state just felt like it was too much. It's just too fucking much. You know, you don't get that, you don't have an inherited right to use your citizens. That's not how this works. There's always consequences to actions. Always. Now, since we're talking about Louis the 16th and Marie Antoinette, let's have a look at the actual blade that was used to chop their heads off. Would y'all look at this? Somebody come look at this. Now we already seen the height from where this blade was dropping down from. It was about what? To me it looked like about a 13-foot drop. Look at this blade. And I'm going to make it English to where you can read the caption. Okay? Read that, what it say up there. It says, the cleaver which would have been used to guillotine Louis XVI. Okay? Him and his wife, Marie Antoinette, and 20 other people. During the same time, they guillotined 2 brothers for singing riot songs. Okay? Just inciting the crowd, getting people all hyped up. Gaslighting. Okay? You know the blade is heavy when you have to hold it with 2 hands. And all these little holes up here is where the rope was, holding it up. It's where all you gotta do is let the rope go, and this comes from a 13-foot drop at an angle, as you can see. And just cut your head right on off. Now, if this was still going on, I don't think the Menendezes would have had $480,000. Just hidden, if this was the consequences. In my opinion, we may need to bring back some old world justice. I'm not saying, it's time to start cutting people's heads off or nothing like that, because, no one wants to be unalived. Yep. We're going to leave it there.